Hey guys, so today I'm gonna go ahead and start knitting a blanket. It's not really knitting because this yarn is already loopy, which makes it about 10 times easier and faster for you to get a blanket done. And you just do it by hand. So because it already has loops, you go ahead and you count how many loops you want, or you can just measure out how long you want it. So I want it about yay long, right? And so here at the end point, so this is the one where I want to stop at, I would start interlocking the next row into it. Sorry, I'm trying to do it with my one hand. Next one, you just keep going down the line. The first one is gonna be a little flimsy, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that first row, and I'll get back to you guys so we can continue from there for a little, and then I'll show you guys how you transition from your first ball of yarn to your second ball of yarn. You want to make sure that your back one, your live yarn, is going in through your first row and not the other way around. And right here I'm just doing a little sample piece for you guys because I actually already went ahead and started this blanket on the other end of this yarn. So this is just to kind of demonstrate to you guys how to start it. Alright, just got a few more little pieces and I'll show you how to go ahead and turn around. And it's really simple to use this yarn. This is literally great for beginners. You don't want to learn a whole new thing, that's totally cool. You don't have to. And it's also for people who don't have much time on their hands but still want to go ahead and make their own. Go ahead and do this as a gift to someone. I know the holidays are going to be coming up real soon as it's about to be Halloween. So here I already have 2 rows, my first starting one and the first one that was woven in. So here's where it ends, right? So you're gonna go ahead, turn it around, flip your yarn over to that side, grab this one and you're gonna put it again through that first little loop. Make sure that every time you start a new row you do that last loop twice, because you want to finish that row yarn and start the next one. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to continue on the one that I already started. I'll go ahead and show you guys. I already started one and I'm so far 4, almost 5 rows in, and a good 3/4 of the way of my yarn in. So as soon as I get done with this ball of yarn, I'll show you guys how to transition into the next one. It is super easy. So yeah, get back to you guys. Alright guys, so I actually forgot to mention, I do have this yarn from Michaels, which is the one I'm using, and it's Loops Pastel. This is a mint color and it's a jumbo 7 size yarn. That just means it's a thicker yarn, and they're 10 yards. So I'm personally using about 6 to 7 balls of yarn, and we're just gonna do as long as those rows make. We're not really going for a specific length or width. And yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know what yarn I'm using, but you can go ahead and use any yarn that has the little pre-made loops. Sorry, just another cut in because I forgot to mention that when you start off you want to have a tail, and this is just to make sure that your blanket won't come apart if you start off on the loop, because the yarn is looped from the very start. And so in between these loops there's just like a little piece, like super thin piece of yarn I don't know if you guys can see it, that makes the loop. So you just want to go ahead and cut that, and for a few loops, like maybe 4 or 5, just for you to have a small tail. It doesn't have to be this long, it could be like this long, and it's just to make sure that you don't start unraveling your blanket as you go while you're still making it. Alright guys, so just want to let you guys know, when you are weaving these in, you want to make sure you don't miss the loop at all, because as you can see here, I missed one in my previous row, so there's this little gap. You could go back and start over from that specific spot, or you could just grab these two as if they're one loop and just put in your next loop, and it won't be as obvious that you just like totally screwed it up, but you will still be able to see that little gap if you're pulling at your blanket. If it's just laying flat, it's not really noticeable, as you can see, but just make sure that you're getting every single loop and you're not skipping one, because it is noticeable. And honestly, like, this blanket's for myself, so I'm totally cool with that tiny little gap. Start off with a tail on the new one. You would just continue where you left off there, and just be careful to not pull at this tail, because if you pull at it, then you're gonna undo the work that you already did. But by the time you get to this end and you loop back around to there, then it'll be secure and you won't have to worry about that anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that second option, just because I have a lot of yarn still left and I don't want this all to go to waste. But it's up to you, however you want to go ahead and go about your project. That's just what I'm doing today, and yeah, so I'll get back to you guys once I get to that end of this piece of yarn, just to once again demonstrate to you how you'll continue from there. I already have my tail. I already removed the little loops, so I'm just gonna leave this little tail hanging there, and we'll go ahead and hide it later. And as I showed you guys earlier, I went ahead and cut my little tail. So just gonna grab your first loop on this new ball of yarn, and you're gonna continue on that last little loop where you left off, and you're just gonna do this the whole way until you're done with this row, because we've already created another layer. So we're gonna start off with our shorter one. You can honestly cut these a little shorter, which I think I'm actually gonna go ahead and do. If that it's not gonna come apart, you can just go ahead and hide it right away. Otherwise, I would one of the little loops right here, I would just wrap it around and do a little knot, just to make sure that it's extra secure. You want to do it on both ends. And I would recommend doing it this way instead of tying both of the ends together, just because this way it's not noticeable that you made a knot as much as it is if you were to do a huge knot using both. And then so the one on your right, you want to weave into the left side, and by weave I just mean you're gonna put it in and out through the little holes. And because you have a solid color, it's not going to be noticeable that you just weave it through. So there you go. You can't even see where I hit those 2 strands, or at least not on plain eyesight. If you obviously are looking for it, you're gonna find it, but otherwise you can't really see it. And on the other end, you might be able to see it a little more than the other side, but as I said before, plain eyesight, you can't really see it. And you would have done the same thing had you ended it on the edge instead of in the middle. You would have still had to hide both of your pieces of yarn, just you would do it along the sides as opposed to in between. And so from here, you can just go ahead and continue as you were, and you'll just go ahead and do the same for every transition between your balls of yarn. And then I'll see you guys once we get to the end to show you how we're gonna go ahead and end it off. Alright guys, so here I've already come to the end of my blanket, and I'm just gonna go ahead and flip it back under, do that one loop, and then you're gonna go ahead and grab the next loop with that loop that you just put in, and you're gonna put in another loop from your live string. Once again, your live string is the yarn coming from your ball of yarn. So you're gonna grab two and pull one through. So as you can see, I went ahead and grabbed two with my thumb, and then I just pulled the other one through with my other hand. And you're just gonna keep repeating that. Two, pull one through. Alright, so it's been a while and I went ahead and got to the end. So as you can see, I only have one loop left, which is the final one from finishing off my blanket. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut the end of my live yarn, and I'm just gonna go ahead and cut off all the loops so that I end up with a tail. Alright, so here I'm just gonna go ahead and pull the tail through the loop and create a knot. And from there, we're just gonna go ahead and start hiding the tail through the side of the blanket. Alright, so here I've already gone ahead and hid the string, and this is basically what your end should look like. I'm just gonna go ahead and start hiding all the ends of my changing strings, and that's it. You're done. Alright, so this is my finished product, and I just want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.